All right, today we're going to be breaking down the funnel for this coaching company that just did $5 million a month using a single webinar funnel. I'm seeing something develop in the market where people have these narratives of call funnels not working anymore, like not being able to sustain show rates, and everyone is moving to webinars. Everyone knows about Jeremy Haynes and his inner circle and how a lot of the people that came to the last mastermind, 8 out of the 9 businesses there hit $1 million a month using a webinar funnel. So for some reason, the narrative is kind of shifting that webinars are what's working right now. And yes, webinars may be working, but that doesn't mean other funnels, other type of funnels are dead. It just means you should execute what you're running correct. Because again, if you take the same problems that you have with one funnel and you move to the next one, you're still going to have the same problem. It really comes down to just having the fundamentals right, your creatives, your show-up system, your backend emails, having all of these things dialed in so that regardless of what type of funnel that you run, you're not going to have these problems come up. And when they come up, you actually know how to solve them, right? And I just want to break this down so that hopefully you can take this and go implement some of the stuff that we're going to cover in this video into your own info coaching, B2B business. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Brilliance. Welcome in. We run ads and build funnels for some of the biggest names in the online info and education space. With that being said, let's dive into it. All right, so the great thing that I love about this funnel is that it's quite simple from what I've seen. And again, we have no affiliation with these guys. I just go in and I source material that I could piece together and show you guys what they're running, right? So now the great thing about this is that it's quite simple from what I've seen. And again, we have no affiliation with these guys whatsoever. I've just seen their business. It's like they're doing great numbers. So I go in and piece together all of the information that I can get based on, what I see on the front end. And the first thing is just, ads. Of course, they have like a YouTube channel and they have like other social platforms, but a huge majority of this is coming from, paid ads, right? And when you look at the paid ads, as you can see right here, I'm not sure if this is their official page, but it looks like it is. They have about 60 ads here. And besides that, we have some probable affiliate pages right here or secondary like Facebook pages because there's a ton of them. Like when you take a look, when you see here, you see this one's called Signals and Structures, Liquidity Lens. All of them are running as the same landing page. So I'm guessing that could be some secondary pages that they have set up, or it could be some affiliates, who knows, right? So, but again, they do have this one right here. You can see we have about 60. They have about 60 ads here, and there's a huge variety of ads here as well. So we have some, podcast style ads, we have some talking head style ads, we have some testimonial ads, and we have some static image ads. And the key thing to understand here is that, these guys are running individualized ads. So that means that every single ad is individual. And a problem that I see is a lot of people are still stuck in their ways using hook and body style of ads, which quite honestly is going to waste the money. We recently had a client who decided after we were profitable, spent about 4,000, made 50,000 back, and he decided that he wanted to test something. I love this client, by the way, just to make it clear. But he decided that he wanted to test, the hook and body, and I was like, look, I don't recommend that you do this. But he insisted that he wanted to test it. I was like, okay, cool, let's see. And actually, the funny thing, he was like, okay, you're going to be surprised when it works. And I was like, okay, let's see what happens. And then we launched it and we spent about $2,000, close to like $3,000. And we booked a grand total of one call. We booked a grand total of one call. So genuinely, I'd rather just raw dog a beehive than run hooks and bodies for my ads. That's just me, just speaking, right? So again, you have to make sure all of your ads are individualized, whether you're running statics, whether you're running podcast style ads, whatever it is that you're running, you have to make sure that every single ad is individual. The maximum that we can do, I do not even recommend this. I don't want to talk about this in the YouTube videos, like, just having, one body for 2 hooks, right? That's the maximum. And again, the hooks have to be long to the point where when the algorithm scrapes the ad, it can see that the first few, like 1-2 minutes of the ad are like, completely different from each other. Otherwise, it's just going to flag them as, being very similar, because now the algorithm wants you to test different styles of stuff. It doesn't want you to just go in and make the same ads that look the same like over and over and over again. Because again, if you do that, you're going to get punished. Like your CPMs are going to go up. You're not going to get anyone to book us realistically. Like if we think about it, the client that we had that wanted to test hooks and bodies, if we ran that to cold traffic, bear in mind this was warm traffic that we were booking calls from. If we ran that to cold traffic, we probably wouldn't have booked any calls, because how the heck did we not book, did we book a single call off of like 2.4K in ad spend? Doesn't make any sense, does it? So again, just make sure your ads are individualized, have about 25 to 30 of this, and it's actually pretty straightforward how you can do this, right? Look at your sales calls. When you look at your sales calls, you can go and actually watch these sales calls. I know we have all of this AI stuff, we have Manus and all of these things, but actually sit down, watch these sales calls. And when you do, you're really going to figure out different angles. Okay, what are the different reasons? What are the problems that these people have? what are the situations. Actually note them down. And when you do this, you're going to be able to go in and articulate about 5 to 10 ads per avatar. And let's say you have about 3 to 5 avatars, you can realistically get spit out about anywhere from 25, 30, 40 ads. And per set, we like to make sure that we have minimum 25%, just to make sure we're giving the algorithm enough to be able to go out and find our best customers. Because what a lot of people do is, they just launch ads, maybe they want to get it going, which is fine, you want to get it going, but if you want to test efficiently and actually get the most out of your money, you need to have a shit ton of ads running, right? So if you take a look here, and again, not just a shit ton of ads to have ads, but actually ads that are individualized, not just angles for the sake of angles, but real angles, things that your prospects are going through right now, right? So that's what you have to think about, and that's how you have to execute it if you actually want to make a lot of money with your ads. So if you're taking a look here, you can see we have a ton of this. We have we have a ton of different styles of ads. We have testimonial ads everywhere. We have some static ads here. We have some talking head style ads here, as you can see. And a lot of them as well, what I've seen is that, they lead with a lot of intrigue at the start. And that's something that we're seeing right now working across multiple different accounts. It's just ads that have that intrigue at the start, or just create an open loop in the prospect's mind, just tap into more and more audiences. Because traditionally, we would do like a lot of direct ads like, hey, do you want this thing right now? Or do you want this outcome right now? And that would scale, but what would happen is that would scale up onto a certain point, and then it drops off, like it fatigues out, because the audience, it's already exhausted the audience pool that it was being fed to, and now you have to make new ads, maybe in new environments, or maybe even change up the messaging just so you can keep tapping into new audiences. But we're seeing right now that when you make ads that actually have some intrigue to them, and you don't even give the CTA till about 1 minute, 1:32 minutes in, you tend to hit a lot more people. So just make sure, number one, you're testing out these things. You're testing out different creative styles like green screen and B-roll style ads have been crushing as well for some of our clients. So make sure when you're testing out these things, you also just make sure every single ad is individualized so that you get the best result. And something as well that we're seeing across the board is when we have selfie videos, when clients go out and film selfie videos for us that just seem raw, authentic, that tends to book a lot. It's performing a lot better than these talking head style ones. Now, does that mean the talking head style ads are completely dead? Of course not. But what that means is that, the algorithm is leaning more on people are wanting to see more stuff that isn't overproduced and it's just natural, and it feels very resonant because it just feels like it just fits into the algorithm, for lack of a better term, right? So that's the first thing. Just keep all ads individualized. And if I was to improve the ad campaign, to make them a lot more money, potentially get them to whatever revenue figure, don't want to say anything, but if we were to make them a lot of money, like what I would do is definitely like adding some more, because now it looks like they have a lot of educational style ads, and a lot of those ads are being done in the talking head style. I would add in some more Loom style stuff. I would add in some more, split screen type of stuff where I'm just explaining stuff and just giving it that more organic feel. I would definitely do that so that we can use that to now tap into different audience segments. Because what happens is that when people watch your ad, they either convert or they don't. Now, does that mean that the people who don't convert are never going to convert? Of course not. It just could mean that these people do not convert with this type of, with this style of ad. Like me personally, I don't see myself converting off of a static image ad. However, you can make a video ad and I'll watch that video ad and I'll be like, okay, cool, yes, this is for me. And I'll click through and I'll book a call. But if you were just running static ads, then you will never get someone like me to convert. So we have to have different styles of creatives so we're tapping into different audience pockets. That's how you get to scale, especially when you're stuck, when you're running a certain type of creative. Like you just have to go and refresh the environment, refresh the type of ad. Also just create variations of, the formats. Just create different formats of that ad, and you're going to be able to unlock scale on that account, right? So again, heading on to the funnel here, we have, they have a very simple funnel. It's kind of a shorter funnel. As you can see here, it's heavily intrigue based. And you can see here they have a lot of proof up front. They have this right here. So if you have 20K plus invested in crypto, and the way they're kind of like removing the Y and P, like it's kind of funny. But basically they are asking, hey, the crypto you're already holding could generate an extra 3 to 8% monthly yield. Here's how. Again, leading with intrigue. But what I like is, in the sub headline, they're like, become your own bank and collect income from your crypto. Set it up once and check it occasionally. So there as well, they're like still promising the outcome. So what people are looking for, alongside 3 to 8% monthly yield that they're talking about as well, right? So again, just looking at this from the outside looking in, they're still going to get a lot of people who are potentially unqualified, but there's still going to be a good percentage of those people that are qualified, because again, it's like, there's people who have maybe $10 in maybe $100, $1,000, and they still want to click through and see what this is. But from their application, they should be able to disqualify a lot of people just from maybe the amount of money that they have to invest, because again, they've gone like really broad. They're making a lot of money with this. So there's a huge chance that they're going to hit, some parts of the market that are not necessarily qualified for this offer, but the application, and that's where your application needs to set up in a way where it's not just qualifying for intent, but it's qualifying for financial capabilities to afford the offer. That's extremely important, right? So, but this is a very simple funnel overall. It's just white, and we have the button, we have the VSL here, we have the testimonial. They're just playing as in the thumbnail. So that's good, very simple. I would also potentially test something where it's a longer page with some more detail. I would test that to see how that performs in versus this one that is just a short funnel, right? So, and then we go on to the application page, and I personally don't like to do this, but if they're doing this right now, it's probably working for them in some way because they're redirecting people to go book a call on a separate page. But I personally don't like to do this for my clients. I like to keep everything on the page, and the reason is you don't want to be dependent on other people's internet connection, your prospects' internet connection. What could happen if they trying to load the page and it takes about 5 seconds to load? Then you lose that person when you can literally just pop it up there or just embed it directly on the page and have them fill out the form instead of taking them to a different page. I really see no use for it, but you can see here they have the application page, and then from there, again, we have the confirmation page here that just gives them information on what to do after they book in a call. Just essential preparation, as you can see there. Add this call to your calendar, block out 40 minutes, test your internet connection. Again, I have no idea if this is the actual confirmation page because I didn't book in a call. So maybe there's a different one, because ideally I would want to have a video where there's a confirmation video, and then the confirmation video is basically just going to explain to them that, hey, that page is built specifically for them to conduct that due diligence and do their research on the company, and then also have some FAQ videos there to answer questions. So that's something that I would definitely do if I was not doing like this. I'm not sure if it's the main one. If it is, then that's something I would do to improve it, of course. Now, moving on to the next, they also have the content retargeting, which includes both the testimonials and the FAQ videos. And the testimonials and FAQ videos, as you can see some of them right here. I think this is one.
Want to take a quick minute to thank Decentralized Masters for.
Yeah, this is one, and basically what those exist for prospects who have still yet to book in a call. So they yet to book in a call and they need something to just push them over the line, right? When you do that, you can really get a lot of people in. Even when I used to run my own ads initially, so when we had a lot of leads coming, then we set up retargeting, and then a lot of people will book calls like that, and the calls are really cheap because these people have already seen you before. So that's what we want to do with the testimonial ads. You want to set that up after someone has booked in a call. You need to have about 50 conversions to make that work anyways. But still, it's something to keep in mind even if you're not at that level yet. So again, set up your content retargeting. Also have some FAQ videos that are going out. So these FAQ videos are simply going to be questions that you're answering for your prospects. Whether that's, okay, how does this work? How much does this cost? Like, do you provide extra guidance beyond the course? What kind of, is this a financial institution, etc.? So you want to answer all of those questions for your prospects after booking a call. And the great thing about this is that you're putting it in feed. So they're seeing it naturally as they scroll their feed. And after they watch one, they get served the next one, right? So there's a whole system of how to set this up. So after they watch like 25% of one, they are qualified to watch the next one. And then after they book in the call, after the call is done, they're removed for the campaign. Right after the call is occurred, or maybe the lead is closed, or depending on how you want to do it. That's what we usually see works the best. It's just after the call occurs, and then we remove them from that sequence. Now the next thing needs to be the backend email flows, and this is one where I see a lot of people genuinely just drop the ball on because they think either it's not important or they really don't understand how to do it. And with this, you want to keep it simple, but also we have a lot of resources around this that we used to build this out. But what you want to do here is just basically just go in depth and educate your prospects. And there's going to be realistically, some people who are just pussies are going to be like, why are you sending me 4 emails a day? Like, bro, just send the emails. Like, again, if you get that from everyone who books in a call, then your emails are probably not that valuable. But if they're valuable, then people are going to want you to send even more. But we like to start with 3 emails a day because that's going to give them enough information to the point where they feel, okay, like if this is actually valuable, they want to continue reading, right? So 3 emails a day, space it out over 3-4 days, you have about 16 emails there, and you just send that, and you're not just sending reminder emails like, hey, when are you going to show up to the call? Like, that's absolute nonsense, right? So again, still have your Calendly reminders going out, reminding people of the call, but have your backend email flows to educate people, to frame them, actually tell them what it's like to be in the program, what it looks like to work with you. Use visual examples, use testimonials, and even redirect them to the confirmation page if you want them to consume more of the FAQ videos, because that's what we see working well as well for our clients, right? So just do that, and you should be able to get about 70 to 80% of book calls to show up. And another one, which is so crucial, this is so crucial, so a lot of people mess this up, is the actual dialing of the leads. You have to make sure your setters are on top of on the lead head top, right? So this is not to exaggerate. Like, you should be dialing leads, double, triple dialing leads at different times of the day if they don't pick up, and you should try to qualify as many people as you can. Actually, just get them to give you a response, whether that's on the phone, whether that's over text. You just want to get a response. When you get a response from a prospect, they are more than likely to show up. So if you're experiencing a show rate problem right now, the solution is not to go run a webinar or to go run a challenge funnel. The solution is to fix the show rate problem and then expand into a webinar when you've gotten your call funnel or whatever mechanism that you're running profitable, and then expand into the webinar after you've done that. But don't jump into a different mechanism prematurely when you have a problem that you still need to solve, that's still going to be a problem on the next one. So again, that's a full breakdown of this. I didn't want this to be too complicated. It's actually very simple. Again, if you got value from this, just feel free to share it to someone who runs any kind of company, really, because this applies not just to info companies, but B2B companies, agencies, etc. And it's just, this is just a niche on its own. And if you want my team and I to build this out for you, the entire system, and help you run your ads on a performance basis and help you tackle the next 6 figures to your revenue for your info coaching B2B business, just click the link in the description on booking a call with me, and I'll see if and how we can help you. But otherwise, I do hope you found this valuable. Like the video, drop a comment if you like this style of video, if you like the topic and you want me to do some more breakdowns like this. I absolutely enjoy them. I think it's what made my channel pop off initially, because I was just breaking down people's stuff. So I want to hop back on this and see how it goes, but I think it's going to be a really good format to test out and see how it performs. But otherwise, I enjoy giving this to you guys, and I appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you soon. Take it. Go watch this other video as well. I think there should be a video here talking about the how I get leads, how to increase your lead quality. So here, just go watch that video. And that video is going to teach you a lot about just increasing the lead quality on the front end, so that you're not fighting with your sales team on how to increase the show rate, etc. So with that being said, I appreciate your time. Take care. Cheers.